was emotional about it. And in front of a group of people, he said, this man saved 3 million, 5 million, maybe an untold number of lives. And it was just recently that this happened. So, and we did numerous of them like that. And part of the reason we did it was trade. I think of the 8, I would say 5 were because of trade. You know, the power of trade, but the power of tariffs. And tariffs have made us a very kind nation because a lot of people aren't dying. I use it for purposes of stopping wars. I love stopping wars. And sort of interesting, I'll be the only president, I don't think any president stopped one war. I stopped 8 wars in 8 months. Did I get a Nobel Prize? No. Did you believe it? Even I said, yeah, that's an impossible one. But it's all right. I suspect, I think next year will be better, but I don't know. You know what I care about? I saved maybe hundreds of millions of lives, but certainly I saved. So now we'll get back to the point on hand. And that's where you're really here because you've contributed to this incredible building that people have wanted for so many years. And we show another building, it's an arc, it's the arc. So that circle, that's Arlington Memorial Bridge, as you know, it's sort of the most important one, a very important structure. And at the end of it, you have a circle that was built 150 years ago, nobody knows really when. And in fact, they put a couple of columns on each side. So you have 2 columns on one side, 2 columns on the other. But yet, in the middle, just a circle. And everyone that passes it said, something was supposed to be built there, that's true. But a thing called the Civil War interfered. That's a good reason. I would say, Ike, that would be a good reason, right? The great 𝗟𝗶𝘃𝗀. The Civil War, if you said you're having a war, I think they have a good reason not to build. Again, you know, they were building the Washington Monument, then they stopped, and you could see where they stopped because the stone is a little different color when you get up to the middle. But anyway, they stopped here. And then they were, in 1902, they were going to put a statue of Robert E. Lee up. Would have been okay with me. A lot of people wouldn't have liked it. Would have been okay with me. Would have been okay with a lot of the people in this room, but they didn't do that. And so for years and years it sat, and every time somebody rides over that beautiful bridge going right to the Lincoln Memorial, it's so beautiful, right? It's, they literally say, something's supposed to be here. And so we have versions of it, sizes of it, and it's going to be really beautiful. I think it's going to be fantastic. There's a rendering of what it will look like. You have 3 sizes. That would be the largest one. This is just came out of what it would look like in either of the 3, any of the 3 sizes, which is right here. I don't know if you can see. So that's Lady Liberty. Lady, did you ever hear of Lady Liberty? On top. But, so the sizes would be very different. That is leaning. And this is sort of facing this way. And so we have this direct line. They did this, they didn't do that. So this would be, I go, small, medium, and large. Medium and large. And whichever one will look good. I happen to think the large one's much fun. Why are you shocked to hear that? So we're going to, just do something for the city. I'm so proud of what we've done with crime. This is a very safe city now. This went from a very unsafe city where you were afraid to go out to dinner to a city that's extremely safe. The people that we have working on this, it's been a miracle almost. It took 12 days. We took out 1,700 people, brought them back to their countries from where they came. Many of them were let in through the Biden open border, brilliant thing, where they let people in from jails, from prisons and mental institutions. Insane asylum, that's a mental institution on steroids. And I mean, they were literally emptying out insane asylums into our country. This is Venezuela, but other countries also, not only Venezuela. And speaking of Venezuela, we have a lot of drugs. We had a lot of drugs coming in by water. And that stopped. In fact, nobody wants to go fishing anymore. Nobody wants to do anything near the water. They might have a beautiful boat, and they might as well get rid of their boat because they are very nervous about going on the water. we were having literal subway train of people and drugs coming into this country. A lot of them coming from Venezuela, a lot of them come from Mexico and Colombia too, in all fairness, but we wanted to knock out one track, and I can tell you we cannot find anybody anymore. We're looking down, they're looking down, there's not a boat on the entire ocean that we can see outside of the ocean liners, and even they're a little bit concerned about it. But it shows you the power and the strength and the technology of our great military. We have, I rebuilt the military in my first term. We had a great first term. We had the best economy ever. We had a rebuilding of the military. We had the big tax cuts and the all of the assets of the tax cuts, including the 1-year depreciation. You write it off in 1 year. Now we have better under the great big beautiful bill, because we have no tips for, think of this, you have no tax on tips, and you have no tax on Social Security, and you have for your workers, you have no tax on overtime. It's really I would say a middle of the road bill from the standpoint of who is it representing. It's the workers. It's the biggest bill ever passed in the history of Congress, and I'm glad we did, because we don't need any more bills. We have everything in that one. Plus we have the deductibility every single year for 10 years. The other one had it for 1 year. You had a rush. This time you don't. Actually, I was in favor of rushing, because that's awfully good for elections, but it's not about elections. It's awfully good. So you have deductibility, you have so many different things. We have great social programs, $50 billion going to rural hospitals. So the great big beautiful bill, and we got it all in one. I was very happy, because we had little arguments about that. A lot of people wanted to do it in small chunks. I said, if you do it in small chunks, you'll never get it approved. You'll get some approved, but not all of it, and not even close. You get much less, I would say less than 30%. So they've never done this before. They put every single thing that I wanted for 4 years in one bill, and we call it, some people call it different. I call it the great, big, beautiful bill, because that's what it is. And this will keep us, what we want to manage it now. We're going to manage it. All you have to do is that, but we got it all approved. And one of the things I thought, though, while I do, because it's so relaxing for me, real estate is relaxing. For a lot of people, real estate is a very trying business. I've always liked it. I've always done well with it. I love building things. And this way, I can build some beautiful things. And this, again, has never been built, and we're going to start that pretty soon. It's going to be great. And then the ballroom for the White House is the thing that you people have really, really been very generous with. And we're going to build a room that's going to be able to hold literally the inauguration if we want. All of the glass on the sides is bulletproof. It's 999 people it can hold. So if we figure we have 125 people in here approximately now.
अमरीकी सदर डोनाल्ड ट्रंप व्हाइट हाउस में एशिया से खिताब कर रहे हैं।